Hey everybody, we're in Lake Kissimmee, Florida. Some rain starting to come down overhead, but more importantly behind us. This is a Pioneer tent that we've rented out for tonight. We're essentially glamping in the middle of nowhere, Florida. And this is how we got here. So we have a dedicated parking spot here, and the tent is over that way. Gotta walk over to the tent from the car, and the tent up this road, coming up on it. Bathrooms that way. We gotta kind of meander through the woods a little bit, and here we are. Tent, kind of in the middle of nowhere. So in the box, we have a little note to us. Thank you. The birds agree. So we took our cooler over here first, and there's should be a wagon in there that we can take our stuff around. But let's take a look around. You got a couple rocking chairs, you got a mat, wagon wheel with lights, cute signage, and you can fasten the entryway to the tent to the sides there if you want for some cross breeze. And inside here is our glamping tent. Look at this. Home on the range. So we got our wagon, a couple chairs. Look at this. And most importantly, glamping wise, we have an air conditioner. We'll put that baby on right now. But you got some lights. You have a little welcome guide. Some residual dirt. We did bring our own pillows. And we got some firewood. Look, they gave us towels. We brought towels from home. You have a coffee maker, some water, checkers.
We're going to be playing some checkers.
And windows here. Or I should say a window that you can zipper down and look outside. We have our table with chairs. We'll get out there in a moment. And lighting.
We even have heat if you're here.
And if you're in the winter, heat. So if you follow the channel, we normally go out camping all around Florida. My tent of choice is a Gazelle T4. I absolutely love that tent. Probably the greatest thing that we've ever bought. Absolutely love it. But today, we figured give Mary a little bit of comfort. Have some hiking, have some good outdoor time, and then come back to a reasonably comfortable setting. So as far as worrying about bears and things like that, I normally don't leave my cooler out when I'm camping. I normally put it inside the van, but the van is like a good maybe 1/10 of a mile or more away. They have this area back here. Look at this. So much room for activities. Got lights, cool little table, and a fire pit. Oh, and they already put the wood and kindling in there. Unless somebody left that there, but that is super cool. Some benches. And then all of this area is open here. There's other campsites all around here, and it was kind of awkward. We walked past the campsite to come in this way. But there's a bathroom off in the distance. This is perfect for anybody that's looking to get their feet wet camping, or don't want to deal with the whole hassle of packing your own tents and things. So the first thing we'll check out is the bathroom, but there is a wash sink out here, which is a plus because we've been to a bunch of campsites that don't have this. And so as far as the bathroom, you got a washer dryer, water fountain, and times that the bathroom will be closed. Men, Check it out. Bathroom facilities. Lots of toilets, showers, more shower, accessible shower with a sprayer. And so the glamping tent, not far from the campground host. And we're driving by other campsites so you get a good feel. To be honest, a large chunk of them are open, which is not what we found earlier this year at other locations. But there's another restroom up that way. Oh, this one's nice. Some of these are, they're kind of non-private.
Yeah.
And others are just completely desolate. And look at that. Right out there by the campsites. I'm gonna head up towards the store. Because they've got some s'mores making stuff up there for us. There's another deer on the road up here. Look at this. We're visiting you. You have been desensitized, you see. Looking at us like we have food. No food for you.
He's licking his lips like, yeah.
Just a short while from the campsites. We've got the Cracker Shack General Store. Look at that. What the heck? Live bait. And they've got ice cream. Only until 4. And worms. Got everything you need for outside or inside. Candy, snacks, charcoal, fire stuff, barbecue stuff, cooking, knickknacks, paddywhacks. See y'all later. Alligator. Nice. There's the view out back of the store. We'll take a look out this way. This is where Jason Voorhees is. The water is very brown over here, but you can tell that there's likely turtles here. And you can fish over here too. There's a sign over there that says alligator no swimming. This is pretty beautiful. And there's always a bench. There's some more views over here. No visible gators. See the barbecue areas over here. Look at those trees. Down that way, volleyball net. We're gonna make our way over towards the observation tower. There is a primitive youth camp. Is it a camp for primitive youth? And this way, observation tower, playground, and Gobbler Ridge Loop. Caution, white marked tussock caterpillar, which is in the oak trees, and they sting. And away we go. So in addition to worrying about the skies opening up, if you're wondering about the air conditioning unit in the tent, right now outside it feels like 106. There's another barbecue grill and a pavilion back there, and over this way, little playground for kids. So there's no springs here or anything to go swimming in, and if you want to go kayaking or things like that, there's a boat launch ramp. And we're coming up on their observation tower, so you can check out what's happening across the plains here. Spoiler alert, that's the view from the top. It's 35 feet high or 3 stories. This has been used for cattle, ranching, timbering, farming, and turpentining. Oh, and if you want to come back out here while it's dark, do some stargazing and some long shutter star photography. Dunk's Tower was refurbished in 2013. Let's check it out. We've made it to the first landing.
Second landing is open.
I'm going to head up to the second landing here. And the third landing is also being refurbished again.
They got a missing step.
So I guess better to close this off than have people fall through the steps. And the wood is a little worse for wear, but to be expected after being out in the sun and elements. Here's a little bit of your panoramic view. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit onto the lake. There's a picnic table underneath. We're trying to shoot. Look at that, there's an eagle. Check out the roots on this tree. Here are the critters that you could expect to see in the park. Raccoons, bobcats, white-tailed deer, sandhill cranes. These are all over by our house. Red-shouldered hawks, we get those by our house also. Possums and wild turkeys. We're gonna head up towards the cow camp, and it is closed because of COVID. And there you can see the cow camp currently closed. Historically, this camp was used from the Confederate Army to raise cattle for supplies and goods to ship up to servicemen that were fighting in the Civil War. The state bought this whole area, and normally in this cow camp, my understanding is there's normally cowboys here that will tell you historical information. There's also cows and there's also cattle and all kinds of things to be able to interact with. Just because of COVID and needing to interact with people face to face, that this is shut down right now. And we still have a deer up ahead. They're taking pictures of him. And they give you the wagon because it's a little bit of a hike back to where you park your car. In case you gotta take your stove. They do not supply any type of cooking stuff for you. You do have a grate over your pit, but that's essentially it. Any type of cookware, things like that, or barbecue, you're on your own, you still gotta bring that. And so we're back in our tent, getting settled in. I do like the wagon wheel light. I do not like that there's not windows on the side so that I can see out. You got one window behind you for some air, and I can create some cross breeze with this. But to be honest, the zipper on the netting is broken, so you can't keep these doors swung open. And the air conditioner is great as well, but there's like a big gap underneath. So while we did bring this flashlight, they do have a broom here for you, a fly swatter, a couple walking sticks. Nice stuff. It is summertime in Florida, so we are loading up on bug spray. Oh. We are set up back here too, so we're gonna cook on our little flat iron griddle here. You have lights out here too, all around the tent and in the back. Some nice little illumination at night. And this is a pretty private, quiet space, so this is what we have back here. Shouldn't be any intruders. And we did clarify with folks here that this is really not a bear park. There's few and far between rare bear sightings, but mostly just deer, bobcat, and other small critters. We have this whole area back here too. As long as the Blair Witch doesn't show up, we'll be in good shape. Got a little rocking chair here. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
It's so quiet, except for the sound of the air conditioner. So just relaxing for a minute, and I'll tell you, the bed is kind of comfortable, but it is really dirty. That is a result of having the wooden welcome sign on the bed, so the wood kind of came off on there, but you can see above the door, we kind of jammed something up in the top there so that nothing else comes in, like maybe bees or birds or animals. So we are effectively cooled down before we go out to make dinner, but this is a map of the facilities here. Trail-wise, the Kristen Jacobs Trail is 6 miles. They have a Buster Island Loop, 6.7. There's some smaller ones in there too. Tomorrow we go out on Segways, take a little tour of the facilities. And so I believe that these glamping tents, and there's 2 of them on property, they're owned by the folks that run the concession stand, and the folks that run the concession stand here also run the concession stand at Lake Louisa State Park. In Lake Louisa State Park I was at earlier this year in the winter time. Had a really amazing tent site that was over by the water and everything. Got to see the sunrise and sunset because there's 2 lakes either side. That was one of my favorite parks so far. Veggies first. Can you smell that? By the way, I'm not saying anything should happen or wish anything to happen, but a root right before that open fire pit, maybe not so awesome. This is what happens when Mary gets very picky about the way the vegetables are. I like them super raw. And we've moved on to New York strips. Little improvisation. And in the middle of cooking, we have an unexpected dinner guest. So there's one, and now another. Look at that. Those things tried to dig a hole under my house one time.
Yeah.
Almost. So the table is crawling with ants. There's no way to get them out of here. So it's like quick, serve yourself and then eat with your plate on your lap. It's a musical dinner by candlelight. That steak is awesome.
It is.
And it's time to get this started. We got s'mores to make. I know this is a mess of logs to start a fire, but all of the logs are wet as well. We have a little nucleus going, and hopefully it grows. Listen to that. Well, just at the rest house, lightning was so close. It's time to abort fire and head inside. And if you guys have any found footage of us after the fact, this is what happened. Everyone is safely back in their campers for the most part. There are a couple of tents here. I think this guy has a tent right around the way. We've been looking at pull trailers now at this point, like scamps and things like that, like 13 footers or 15 foot, somewhere in that range. Maybe for next year. That way we avoid the bugs that make Mary's head bob like this as we're walking around. More importantly, we're able to then kind of jettison across country or wherever we want to be able to go and have a place to stay without needing to pay for hotels or anything like that. And there's the rain. So 9:15, we've been sitting here actually watching SummerSlam on the phone. Every so often when we move, we're like, ooh, it kind of smells like sewer or something. And then we smelled the mattress. It is like, it must be like a one giant ball of mildew. It's bad. Sunday morning. So much for the fire. It poured all night. Look at that sunrise through the trees. Got all kinds of stuff living in these trees. And there are a ton of fresh spider webs that I seemingly just continue to walk into. Squirrels. They're watching us.
Oh my God.
Wow. The breakfast journey begins. That's my brain. That's my brain on a cast iron grill. Oh my God!
Oh, no. Don't go near that.
That's crazy hot, dude.
I wish we had something for him.
Come on, guys. Here it is. Breakfast is getting better every time. That's what the deer think, at least. We're doing segways.
I'm like, woo, so nervous.
Hey, you're doing great already. Keep coming.
She's a natural.
Run me over. You've got control of how fast or slow you want to go.
We're gonna roll over the cone.
Now, please don't kill my cones. And down the hill. Easy peasy. Nice. How you feeling?
That wasn't so bad.
Wasn't so bad.
No.
Okay. No problem out here. I try to keep my eye looking back, but I'm not always.
Don't hit a tree, please.
No, this area, Kissimmee State Park, let's see, it became a state park, I believe, was 1976. They bought it from the fellow by the name of William Zepperer. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We dug a canal. There was 5,930 acres total.
Wow.
So it's a pretty good sized park. It's a lot of space. They've got a lot of nice trails. We're surrounded by 3 lakes. The word Kissimmee comes from the Jojoba Indian tribe that was here. They named it Kissimmee, which means long water. Lake Kissimmee is, I think it's like 16 miles long and 9 miles wide or something like that. It's like I'm not sure exactly the dimensions, but I think it's the 3rd largest lake in Florida.
Oh, wow.
And it's connected all the way down to Okeechobee through the Now originally this was all Indian land. All the Indians, it's like, you know, any minute as we're going through here just 100 years ago, we were paying attention that we weren't getting ambushed because there were wars with the United States and they weren't happy with us. But it was all about location, location, location. I mean, a little bumpy in here.
Yeah.
We are heading to the cow camp.
Now you can see there's a ditch right here. So we're going to have to get some good speed because we want to get airborne enough to hit the other side.
A little Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Or we could go around. This is called the Zephyr Canal, and it was built because Rosalie, which is out that way, we're surrounded by 3 lakes, and out that way is Rosalie. Behind us is Kissimmee, and to our south is Tiger Lake. So Rosalie has no outlet. So what they did is they built this canal so that Rosalie, when the water started to get high, would have a place to go to. Signed a treaty with the Spanish for Florida. So they went back to Puerto Rico and back to Spain and Mexico, and they left all the cattle. So all of these cattle were just free roaming.
Oh, wow.
So there were thousands of these cattle that were out roaming, and hence the landowners, they hired these cracker cowboys to gather up these cows and became ranchers.
Wow, that's interesting.
Okay, we're coming forward in history. The Indians were here, the Spanish were here, then the colonists came through, and now the year is 1876. We're actually moving forward in history now. And what happened is these cracker cowboys, they were moving, as they collected the cattle, they were moving the cattle through different areas, and they had to set up these camps where they could spend the night and build a little cow camp area for the time being until they were ready to move again. So up ahead, we're going to see this little place where it's sort of a representation of the kind of ranch that these cracker cowboys set up as they were moving cattle.
Yes.
Polk County was named after because of the Polk in this county. The big cities here, let's see, there's Lakeland, there's Haines City, there's Winter Haven. None of those cities even existed. The only city that existed was Fort Meade, which today is just this little bedroom community. But it was a port. So, believe it or not, even Disney wasn't here.
Yeah.
But in those days, because of the industries that were taking place, and it was like roughneck territory, Polk County in particular was known as the Wild, Wild East. Now,
We've made our way into cow camp here.
Snakes in Florida, so just be aware of where you're stepping. Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, and the ants.
So they do normally have cracker cows out here and local farmers taking care of them. There's some cows. Cracker cows.
Now back in the old days when they were rounding up the cattle, they would dig these deep trenches like this with the sand on both sides.
All right, so our Lake Kissimmee trip comes to an end. The Segway riding was awesome.
Phenomenal. I loved it.
Mary has never had the major wipeout like with the one wheel or major skateboard catastrophe. I've been hit by cars and all kinds of stuff, so I know that fear builds up inside, but you get past it. With Mary, she got on it and she was just zoom.
I was gone.
So that was awesome, and we were able to get into the cow area and all over the place. That was truly well worth every penny. I think that tour is like $40 per person.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. The glamping, very cool concept. Just needs to be tweaked because of the mattress and stuff like that. But the park itself is beautiful. There's so many trees, so many animals. But
the deer were amazing.
yeah, just an awesome, awesome couple of days.
Yeah.
And now back to regular week. So on that note, we're getting out of here. Thank you very much for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great day. We'll see you guys.